in film versions of the novel or TV version, this is of course one of the most iconic moments. Once again, it reflects the power of science and the Gothic, which is the drinking of the potion. But it's what we don't see is Jekyll turning to Hyde, but because of the way Hyde has arrived at Lanyon's home, we see Hyde desperately in need for this formula to turn back into Jekyll. And he is very dark and creepy in the way that he speaks to Lanyon, and is arrogant in his scientific accomplishments. And there's something almost satanic in the sense of the Garden of Eden, in sense of the power of knowledge. And he says, to Lanyon, are you going to stay and watch what all these chemicals are for? Are you going to be wise? Will you be guided? Will you be taken by me? Will you suffer me to take this glass in my hand and to go forth from your house without further parley? Aren't you curious? He's baiting him. Or has the greed of curiosity too much command of you? He says, greed of curiosity, again, a sin, a desire. And he's appealing to those desires. He says, you want to know what this is all about. And he's playing with the reader too. Think before you answer, for it shall be done as you decide. As you decide, you should be left as you were before, and neither richer nor wiser, unless the sense of service rendered to a man in mortal distress may be counted as a kind of riches to the soul. So you've done something kind. Is that enough? I doubt it. Is that enough? Or do you want a new province of knowledge? New avenues of fame and power? And your sight shall be blasted to stagger the unbelief of Satan. And I think that Satan's there on purpose, because what happened in the Garden of Eden was Satan really tempted Eve with the apple of the knowledge of good and evil. And what we see here is that temptation of knowledge. And what it leads us to is something far more disgusting and brutal, something that destroys Lanyon. He put the glass to his lips and drank at one gulp. A cry followed. He reeled, staggered, clutched at the table, and held on, staring with injected eyes, gasping with open mouth. And as I looked, there came, I thought, a change. Can't be sure. He seemed to swell. His face became suddenly black, and the features seemed to melt and alter, and the next moment I had sprung to my feet and leapt back against the wall. He wants to shield himself because he is in terror. The transformation is horrible, horrific, horrible, disturbing. Oh God, I screamed, and oh God again and again. For there before my eyes, pale and shaken and half fainting and groping before him with his hands like a man restored from death, there stood Henry Jekyll. So, mortal horror. We see this fantastic moment of transformation terrifies utterly the character of Lanyon. When you describe a lot of things in the novel where characters witness and experience them, we really understand them more through their own reactions. So here, the description itself isn't terrifying, but Lanyon's response to it is what gives us the clue that he wants to jump away from it, protect himself, as if what is happening is something that could attack him. He himself is submerged or sunk inside of a feeling of fear and terror, and just watching this has changed him completely.